What's up, guys? We are here with Kyle Vergatini, and we are going to take a look at his green-blue deck. So let's get right into it.
Alright, so setup, we're going to be playing green-blue, Eitan Fizzy. Eitan pretty much acts as another insta-cast on his own, which makes him a really strong champion, and Fizzy just gives us draw power late game that we need, and also gives us access to some really strong blue cards that go with the deck. So we're going to go into the units first. We got 3 Skyship Engineers. It's the only one drop. It's the only one drop in the deck. It's just, you know, 1 drop, 1,000. The effect is really strong, not just for getting the ships, but just from proccing other effects involving bouncing cards. I guess there's one in this deck, and then also just making it just survive. So that's what we have for 1 drop. Next, for 2 drops units, we have Skytree Hawk.
The unbelievably shiny Skytree Hawk.
Yeah, all these shinies are going to be a little hard to read. When he gets bounced, you can discard him to draw 2. Now, this is one that I've been unsure of. It might drop it down to 2, but he's one of the only. We only run 1 drop, not a whole lot of 2 drops. So play this just another unity on the board early, and also it's just another way to get draws in the deck that really help. We got those. We have 2 Azure Guardians, so this is filling out the rest of the blue cards that we'll see more later.
Yeah, these things are beefy.
Yeah, really big Guardians that this deck doesn't have many of, and also it's just another strong 2-drop to get in the deck. Then we have 3 Skytree Marksman. Haven't gotten to see it a lot in testing, but it bounces other cards, which can bounce Marksman to proc that. It's also a Sky Raider, so it can come off of the bigger ships in effect, and we'll see later. And if it comes off in the opponent's turn, it can deal 1,500 something to pop something, so it's just another strong card to have. I have 1 Cloudseed, and I'd possibly play more of this card, but I was just having trouble finding room. It has a really strong effect. It's a 3-drop, which is important in this deck. But overall, a really good card. Might play more copies of it, just the 1 for now.
Yeah, it's the structure deck card for the green deck that you only get 1 of.
True. That's my other excuse. So we got 3 Stormfish, so more of the blue cards. So on top of just being a really strong card overall, the fact that the rune effect of spinning a card on spinning a unit to the top of the deck works really well with Eitan. 3 drops are just really strong in this deck in general. So just playing 3 of those.
Yep.
So now we're getting into the ships.
This motherfucker
we got
here.
Skytree Blockadeship.
Demon Blockade.
3 of them. Yeah, so units in front of it can attack, and also it's the only other Guardian in the deck besides Azure. And that's why 3 drops are so important, because if you can use Eitan to drop this on your opponent's turn, it's basically a double blocker, because you'll lock out whatever you summon it on, and also be able to guard something out. So that's a very important card for the deck. And then the other 4-drop ship is Skytree Sandship, and when it arrives, it exhausts a card, so it doesn't have quite the same blocking power as Blockadeship, but also another really good Eitan target. And also, when it gets destroyed, it floats into a Sky Raider, 2-drop or lower, which the only one in the deck is Skyship Engineer, but it's still a good effect to have.
So it looks like it also, we got to make a quick note of this, it has survived the Alaskan Bullworm behind it.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
that looking thing is right there, so that's a pretty solid card, so let's keep going.
Can't fight the Alaskan Bullworms, I guess. Of course, the other last 4-drop is Sylvia.
Disgusting.
One of the best cards in the game. No reason not to play it. It's really good.
Absolutely gross.
Now, for 5 drops, the only one in this is Skytree Battle Cruiser, another airship. Doesn't have as strong effects as far as, like, it doesn't have anything to hit the board to play on your opponent's turn, but it can't be targeted by spells, big body. It's the first ship that floats into a 3-drop or lower Skytree, which gets us Skytree Marksman. So if you use Eitan to sacrifice this to go into a 6-drop, you can get Marksman out and get more plays off of that. So just another big ship. And then the last unit we have is the 6-drop Skytree Warship. So on top of just being a really strong card, and you can Eitan into it with Skytree Battlecruiser, and when it hits the field, you can destroy a 4-drop or lower unit. So and when it gets destroyed, it floats into your airships, like your Sandship and your Blockade ship. So yeah, you can. It has a really strong float effect on top of being a destroyer. Just a good card.
Yes.
So that's the last of the units in the deck.
So the units are some of them are very good. It's a lot of bouncing stuff, a lot of chaining things with Eitan. We'll explain that a little bit later, but this is really the main portion of the deck here, are all the spells and how they interact, so we'll get into that right now.
Right, so we're going to be playing 3 Tornado Shot, 1-drop, deals 2,000, just a really solid card, and that's where Skyship Engineer really shines, because you can bounce it to make it so short Tornado Shot goes live. In green-blue, we don't have as much bouncing our own cards, so that's, yeah, it works with that, but it's still a really strong card to play. So we play 3 of that. We'll get 3 Hurricane Shot. That, on top of just being a good spell to hit things during your opponent's turn, it lets us also get important cards off our field. Like, it's the only card that's going to let us bounce Sylvia during your opponent's turn. I mean, Marksman does that too, but then this is more reactive, so just a strong spell. Omega Magic Kaze.
This card is very annoying and very, very stalling.
Yeah. I mean, early game, like, paying 2 to use it, there's probably better cards to use, but once you run out of towers and it becomes live, there's just no reason not to play it. Like, it's just a free block. You get it, no mana, it replaces itself, just really strong card. And then the last spell, which is the last of the blue cards, is Ancient Serpent's Breath.
Which I actually did find out is a full art card that you get at Gen Con. We were really surprised, me and my group of friends, that this card was not potentially even an Argent rare. This card is absolutely nuts, and the fact that it's a common is just crazy to us. But yeah, you can get full arts at Gen Con, so
late game it's just a really good 1-drop insta-cast. Early game, you don't get as much with the Shard Drain, since you don't want to Shard Drain early, but you can also play this with Skytree Hawk, and it's a +1, and you're drawing 3 cards. So yeah, it's just overall really good card. So that's it for the main deck. I guess the only thing left is the shards. We have the 3 Cryptic Crystal. No reason not to play it with the Blue Spirit. Gets really good late game because you can Shard Drain it with Fizzy and then keep cycling it if you have a game that goes along.
So when it arrives, you just get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and order them any way you want, but you can Shard Drain it back to your deck late game, so you're pretty much getting this effect every single turn.
Right. And that's it for the special shards. I'm not playing any other special shards, even if there might be some. I know people are playing like the green one to hit augments, but just
no, thank you.
I mean, no, I think it could be good in other decks, but I think the chance
like the
of
green spirit decks. I personally do not like playing any special shards that are not in their spirited deck, because it can just really screw you over if you just get a dead mana early on.
Yeah, and especially in this game, this deck that also suffers our early game, it's really dangerous to have that. So that's it for the deck there.
So one thing I did want to talk about really quickly is kind of how reactive Eitan is. It's in my opinion probably the most reactive deck. If anybody had played Yu-Gi-Oh, it's very similar to Cosmos, but yeah, overall, like, this card gives you a reactionary play on your opponent's turn as long as you have climbable unit. So when I say that, if you have a 3-drop unit out, you can sacrifice it to go into a 4-drop, 4-drop into 5-drop, get all those effects off, and it can end up being really nasty for the cost of just 1 mana. So overall, this deck's really solid. I think it might warrant doing a video about the combos of the deck later on. Maybe when we have some more time, we can get into that. If you guys want to see that, make sure to leave a comment below below the video. And we want to give a quick shout out to our buddy Drew over at the 6th Tower. He is doing his own podcast for Argent Saga, so we wanted to give him a quick shout out. So thank you very much for showing us your deck, Kyle, and thank you guys very much for checking out this video. We're gonna have a lot more deck lists to come. We have a Discord you guys can join. The description is down below to get into that Discord, and yeah, just sub on up for more videos. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.